Student asking how do we study biomechanics, how do we write it for exams, the number of structure involved in a glenohumeral joint. So I have prepared a checklist kind of a structure. What all things should be mentioned in a 15-mark answer. You can find these notes on it, and I hope you all do great in your biomechanics exams. And hello everyone, this is me Forum Sangvi aka Physio by Forum, and today I'm making this quick video on biomechanics. So I've received a lot of questions and requests in my DM by the physiotherapy student asking how do we study biomechanics, how do we remember the whole vast concept and the complexes in biomechanics, and most importantly, how do we write it for exams. So today we are going to cover all of it. So the first question is, how do we study biomechanics? Always follow a step-by-step process. Do not jump into any random topic. Study in a systematic manner. First, you understand the basic anatomy of the joint, the number of structure involved in the joint, the accessory structures, the ligament, so you know what you are working with. Okay, so once you get clear with all the structures are involved, then you go to the osteokinematics, then like the flexion movement, in which axis, in which plane it is happening, how many degree of motion the joint has, and with that you can then move forward to arthrokinematics, like how the gliding is happening, how the rolling, the spinning is happening. With that, then you go to which all the muscles are involved, which all muscles take part in this movement. Then you go forward with the forces involved in it. So this way you can slowly move step by step. Do not jump to any concept randomly, because one day you just sit and you just open the kinetics and kinematics and you won't understand anything. Trust me, go step by step. It might take a little time than usual, but you will remember it for the rest of your life. So the second point I would like to say is to visualize the movement. So basically what I used to do is, for example, if we take a glenohumeral joint. So a glenohumeral joint, we know there is a scapula and the head of the humerus involved. So we know that we cannot see it by our eyes, but we can always visualize it, how the movement will occur. So what I used to do is, I used to place my hand and feel how the movements is occurring, how my hands are going up, if the humerus slightly goes downwards. Or what I used to do is, with the help of my hands, I used to make a concave surface of the scapula, glenoid fossa, and the convex head of the humerus, and then used to perform the abduction, the adduction movement, and used to feel that okay, the head is going downward, it is sliding downward, and it is rolling upward. So these are the movement that is occurring inside my body. Of course we cannot see it, but we can always visualize it. If not that, you can definitely watch animated YouTube videos where the skeletons, with the help of skeleton, they shows how the movement is occurring, which will help you in a great way to visualize what exactly is happening inside your body. And also, if not that, you will always have a bone set at your college. You can use a scapula, you can use a humerus, and see how exactly the gliding is happening, how the rolling is happening, and this will help you a lot. And this, with the help of this, you will remember the concept very clearly. You do not have to mug up everything and just don't understand any concept and just pick up any joint or pick up any question from the PYQ and start reading about it and then mug it all up and then you go for the exam. That is very wrong. So I would suggest that take one joint, understand what is written in the book. If not that, you can also refer notes. If not that, make your own notes. I used to make my own notes because for me it was very helpful for me that I understand the movement and then I write it down in my notes. So it helped me to visualize it, and then also I'm writing it, so it helped my brain to memorize it better. If not that, as I said, you can refer anybody's notes and then go through it, and while going through it you remember and visualize what is happening. And also you can refer your textbooks for it. And yeah, with that, it used to be very helpful for me to remember the kinematics, like the motion that are happening. And for the muscle involved, if you cannot have difficulty remembering the muscle involved, always read what all muscles are involved, place your hand over those muscles and perform the similar movement with your body. And for example, if you're performing abduction, and when I abduct my hand, I feel that the deltoid are contracting, it is pulling my hand upward. So this is not only for glenohumeral joint, you can do it for each and every joint in your body. visualize it. That is the key. Visualize what is happening inside your body, and this will be very, very helpful. It has worked for me. It will definitely work for you. Just give it a try. So the next thing I would like to suggest for you to remember it for the longer period of time is to explain it to your friends. Whatever you have understood, like, okay, this motion is happening in this way, these all muscles are involved, you explain it to someone, explain it to your friends. If you do not have any friends, it's okay. You can explain it to your brother, your sister, your parents. That will help you a lot. Along with that, while studying, or while just revising, draw diagrams along with it, so it gets printed in your head. So the most important thing, how do we write biomechanics for exams? So I have prepared a checklist kind of a structure where I have written it down what all things should be mentioned in a 15-mark answer. Similarly, you can write it for a 7-mark answer for like a shorter version of it. So I'm going to share it to the screen. What all points should be mentioned are, first, very important, you mention introduction. Introduction includes like give a basic, definition about the joint, and then go with the type of the joint it is, the articulating surfaces involved to make a joint, and the accessory structure. Second, you jump on to the question. Most question ask are write kinetics and kinematics of so and so joint. So you can begin with the kinematics. You write the degree of freedom, the osteo and the arthrokinematics, the concave convex rule in which the movement are going to happen. So it's very important for you to mention that which joint is following which rule, either it's for convex concave or concave convex rule. So in kinetics, you have the forces involved. So as I said, glenohumeral joint, you mentioned about the gravitational force, the static stabilizer, the dynamic stabilizer that involved in it. And then it is very important, I've written it down, the diagrams, where all you should add diagram. First, in the introduction part, you can add diagram of the joint. Second part, where the kinematics you involved, you can add. And then for kinematics, you can show how the forces are acting on the joint. So you can show it through diagrams. So as many of you requested, how do we exactly write it in an exam, along with the checklist that I have prepared. I've also prepared this, a complete answer of, like I have prepared it for glenohumeral joint. This was a question asked in the year 2022, right? Kinetics and kinematics of the glenohumeral joint. The 15-mark like a structured answer I have made. So this is how we actually write the answer for 15 marks. So it's the glenohumeral joint, kinetics and kinematics was the question. So first we begin with the introduction. We write the introduction, the definition of the joint, or any feature about the joint. Then we begin with the type of the joint, the ball and socket synovial joint, articulating surfaces. We mention the proximal as well as distal. Then accessory structure, we have labrum, we have capsule. Then we have a ligament. We write the function of the ligament and the type of the capsule. We have capsular and extracapsular ligament.
Add more details.
Then the structure involved is the bursing. Then we begin with the kinematics. So in kinematics, you can write the degree. Then we'll begin with the osteo and arthrokinematic, and according to the joint it is, this will follow a convex concave rule. And then we have is the osteo and arthrokinematics. So we have flexion and extension. In flexion, what all movement happen, what are the muscle involved. Then in extension, what are the movement happening, the rolls, the glides, and then the range of motion, the ideal, and then the muscle involved. And then it's very important to add a diagram. Then we have is abduction, adduction, again it gliding, the rolling, the range of motion, and the muscle involved. So there are 3 things you mentioned. Then for same for the external internal rotation, very small para on scapulohumeral rhythm. If not that and asked separately, you can add this whole page. When asked for write a note on scapulohumeral rhythm, you can add this. Then we have the kinetics. We have gravitational force, we have dynamic stabilizers. This is also dynamic stabilizer, static stabilizer, and then you end with it. So you can find these notes on my Telegram page, or you can DM me on my Instagram and I'll send you right away. So yeah, all the very best, and I hope you all do great in your biomechanics exams. And if you have any doubt, you have any such more questions, you can always reach out to me on my Instagram. That my handle is Physio by Forum. So yeah, don't forget to follow me there as well. So all the very best, and let me know how do you find this video in the comments below. Bye.